Okay, so what we have here is the TC Artisan. That's early 90s. The pickup wiring in this one is not original, and I've got the wiring diagram now. I'm going to get this back to original spec. It has a wide variety of tone, but I do notice that, well, you'll hear it. So I'm just going to go through and play through once here with this wiring, and then I'm going to come back after we do the repair, and we're going to check it out again. So, real simple. I'm using TC directly into my Apollo. I'm using the Friedman, and just kind of a clean tone, pretty straight setup there, and we'll just kind of whip through this. So here's position 1. Coil tap is in or off. Coil tap pulled out or engaged. Coil tap is in, position 2. Coil tap in, or I pulled it out. Coil tap in, and position 3. And the coil tap back in, so pulled out. So what I'm going to try and do is line those up so that I can kind of go through 1 and 2, and we can switch back and forth and have a listen and see what it sounds like when I put it back to the original spec with the treble circuit. So let's check it out in a bit.
All right, so here's the Godin Artisan TC. Beautiful finish, beautiful guitar. This is the Signature model. I'm kind of glad to have this one in my collection. This one has the original pickups. And originally it came to me just the way it is with the wiring. And I always kind of thought it was a little funky sounding. Cool, but funky. So I'm going to take a look at this push-pull switch. There's supposed to be these two 4.57s and this cap in there that's like a treble bleed, like a Kinman circuit, and that's pretty popular in the 90s. That balances these guys out and kind of sets a tone properly, so when you're switching between them, it sounds a little more balanced. I pre-made these. I've got this already kind of set up with those 0.7s. I'm going to replace this with the jumpers, and let's take a look. Let's get at her. A couple things. I always put a nice soft cloth down so I don't scratch my my guitar while I'm working on it. I always like to show people when you're putting that screw and tightening it back up, when you're putting it on the pot there, just make sure that you line it up with the line on the pot, not on the side. If you put it on the side and you take the screw like that, it pinches these, and then it kind of warbles as you're turning it around there. You're going to end up changing the volume, and you're going to have that warble on the volume pot. It's kind of annoying. So make sure you tighten it against that way, and it won't squeeze those together, and you'll always stay nice and centered. So we're just going to snug this nut here. Just give that a loosen up, and we're going to take that off, put this aside, and we'll drop that through. I'll just set that over there, and I'll get that over there too. Now we're going to unscrew that backing plate here. Might fast forward this. All right, So again, always put something down to protect the back of your guitar so that you're not going to spill any solder on there. You don't want to burn the back of the guitar with your soldering iron. Get that cloth back in there. I gotta pull this out, take that out. Hopefully we can get a good look at this. I don't want to spray any solder on the guitar, so it'll fall on there. Get the handy dandy soldering iron here, and you can see those two pins, and it's going right to ground. So there's no cap, there's no resistors. We're just going to get rid of this one. The wiring's just the same. So the way it's wired is basically the white and brown from pickup 1, white and brown from pickup 2, and onto the other one, and that's on that switch. They've replaced the cap and the resistors with just this wire, and we're going to get rid of it. Happiness is a hot soldering iron. So, grab a pair of suture clamps. I love these things. Get them on Amazon. You can get a whole set for next to nothing. They're not medical grade, but they certainly do the work. Far better than trying to use like a pair of needle nose like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to snip this in the middle, because he's got one piece running all the way through it. It's going to be harder to get out. So get these out of the way. I'm going to cut it just like that. Better give it another snip there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the suture clamps and just grab that. Clamp on here, warm that up a little bit. Boom, away it goes. And same thing. I'm gonna roll this over a little bit just so we can see. Clamp onto there, warm that up, and there it goes. That was easy as can be. So that's the old wire that they had. It wasn't the original. I'm gonna take this, I've pre-made this already, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna attach that to those 2 points there. The cap goes to ground, so I'm going to do it the exact same way, just making sure the cap is to ground. So we'll do one pin at a time. I'll heat this one up. There we go. Hold that real steady for a few seconds. I can put that second leg on. There we go, that's looking good. And now I'll put the soldering iron away here for a second. I gotta try and work this around. I don't really want it to touch anywhere else or ground out. Don't want to short anything else, but I just want this pin to ground. That should be good. And then we're gonna just heat that solder pad up that's already there. And there we go. That was easy. That's the ground now. Those caps, I'm gonna just kind of position them well so that they can sit out. That's good. Great. Check those wires are still on there really nice. Yep, they are. So we're gonna stick that back in there gently. Always be careful when you stick it in the hole that you don't hit the edges of the finished side. You might flake something off. Put your thumb on there to hold it in place for a second. I get my finger back on there underneath just to hold it. I'm gonna pop this on. We'll snug that up. And we should be good to go here. There they are. Okay, and we'll snug this up. And again, we're going to put that knob on, making sure that we're lining up that screw right in line with that. Also make sure there's a little bit of space underneath like that so that you don't rub. It's a push-pull, so you might end up popping it in and out. Like you don't want it to hit. Let's go give that a try.
Okay, so we're back with the newly wired TC, and we're going to go through the same tests that we did before. So we have the exact same setup. I didn't change a thing. I literally did this, went next door into my shop, did the wiring, came back. So everything's exactly the same. The Friedman amp, everything. We're going to do the exact same thing. So here we've got the tap in position 1, and let's hear what that sounds like. Coil tap on. Interesting. Position 2. Coil tap in. Position 3, coil tap in. And so there you have it. What I'm noticing is a lot better volume balance between coil tap in and out. The highs are fairly well balanced throughout. Yeah, it's just I guess I should have tuned it before, but yeah, interesting.
All right, so there you have it. So there's a properly installed treble bleed. That's a Kinman circuit developed by an Australian guy, I think, luthier down in Australia, who designed that specific resistor in series with the capacitor. There are different types of treble bleed circuits. Some are just a capacitor, some are a capacitor and a resistor in parallel, and then the Kinman circuit, where there's a resistor and a capacitor in series to ground. This specific guitar had that Kinman circuit in it already, and so I wanted to get it back to that sound, and I'm pretty happy with it. So overall, awesome. Big success today. I did it to my Godin ST. I did that one as well, and to the same success. Just sounds wonderful. As always, if you like what you see, I'll keep posting videos. Hit the subscribe button so you know when I'm posting new stuff, and like the video, of course. And Durham County Band, pop by and have a listen to some new tunes. New tunes coming up all the time, and of course my solo stuff as well. Pete Wheeler. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time.